Hello students, I'm Rupali Bangare, Assistant Professor, ISMR MC Department, Nigdi, Pune.
Start a capsule program from Java programming. Before we start our regular coding, let's discuss some object-oriented programming concepts. Whenever we are talking about OOPS, class comes into our mind. What do you mean by class? Class is nothing but a real-time entity which is available around you. We can find multiple things like tables, chairs, we can find person, we can find TV, remote, multiple things. So all these real-time entities are nothing but your classes. When you are calling these as a classes, these classes might have some properties, some members like table has some height, width, look, color, all those things. If we talk about remote, remote also has some look, feel. Then a remote has buttons, the color, the chip, company, size, length, all these kind of things. Whenever you are talking about object, is nothing but the instance of this particular class. If we consider the example of a remote, we'll continue this remote example throughout the OOPS concept. Consider remote as a class. And when you pick up a remote with a black color with 10 buttons with whose company is let's say Samsung, so this will be an object which is nothing but the instance of a class remote. When you talk about remote, then there are so many features which a remote is operating, like increasing volume, then decreasing size, or then you can say the changing the channel. Or if we talk about the remote of AC, then you can set the temperature, increase or decrease the temperature, multiple things a particular object is doing. But you are not aware about actual functioning. So the unnecessary things are being abstracted from your view, and those things are being encapsulated. So what your abstraction is doing, eliminate the irrelevant and amplify the essential. What is essential? Increasing the volume, changing the temperature is essential. That is being operated, and you are aware about that. And what is irrelevant? The functionality, the connection, the programming is being encapsulated. So that encapsulation is being done through hiding the unnecessary things into the methods. And that's how your remote is being operated. The next concept come into the picture is nothing but your inheritance. When we talk about the remote, some basic functionalities are there like color, buttons, company, connections, microchips, and many more things. So these are some basic parameters which can be there in any kind of remote. But when we talk about AC remote, when we talk about, let's say, TV remote, or we talk about, say, music system remote, so these three may have some different functionality also, which may go beyond the basic remote structure. Okay, so this is nothing but your inheritance. What it suggests, it models the similarity. So common features are being inherited from parent to child class. Then the next feature come into the picture is polymorphism. If we consider the simple OK button from any remote, then you can find out like OK helps you to set the temperature. OK helps you to select the channel. OK helps you to select the audio from the audio system. So polymorphism is being implemented in such a situation where a single button is being used for multiple functions in multiple scenarios. So same function, different behavior is nothing but your polymorphism. So this is how your oriented programming concepts are being used. Now, this is what OOPs are being implemented in real time situation. Let's consider a real time scenario of online food ordering system like Swiggy. Now, this is what the app or application which we are using regularly. Now, let's assume we as a customer places an order into that application. That order is being received At restaurant portal, restaurant has the responsibility to process that order, and after completing, restaurant delivers that particular order or food to the customer through delivery boy or some delivery channel. At the same time, after this order, system admin also earns the commission. So this is how a general flow of any food ordering system. Now assume this as a situation, which classes you can assume from this complete system. You can assume that customer is in class, is a class, restaurant is a class, delivery boy is a class, your order could be a class, your food could be a class, then mm, your restaurant is a class, then restaurant owner is a class. So let's have the discussion on how we are going to apply OOPS concept over this case. Fine. So this is how we have tried. Like if you consider that online food ordering system as a case, then as we discussed, we can have a customer as a class, restaurant owner as a class, and many more classes also. But when we consider the customer and restaurant owner, these two classes might have some common features like customer can have its ID, name, address. So these three fields can also be there for your restaurant owner. But we found that these two users are having some common features also. So we have considered user as a parent class, which is being extended by your customer and restaurant owner. And now because of this inheritance, user properties, which are the user properties? Your ID, name, address, these are the properties are being inherited from user to customer and restaurant owner. This is how you can implement the inheritance. Fine. Now after that, when we are talking about customer, so apart from user properties, there might be some more properties available with customer, like membership. Customer can be member of a particular club or let's say group or let's say any other organization. That kind of membership could be there. Because of that membership, customer might get reward points, or if you order some more times, then you'll get this reward points. That kind of system is also available. Yes, of course. So you can have the reward points also. So these kind of you can say the members are also available along with the some common features which are being inherited from the parent class. So these some common features rather than these reward points, which is own member of your customer. I don't want that point to be exposed to the other classes. That's why I have made it private. Now I have abstracted my data. This is how your abstraction is being uh, implemented. But abstracting the reward point, but still I can check my reward point. So I need to access this reward point. So that abstracted data is being encapsulated in such a method so that it will provide me the data. But how it is providing, that is none of my business. So this is how your abstraction and encapsulation goes hand by hand. But when we are talking about polymorphism, yes, what your polymorphism does, single, you can say the function and multiple behavior. Now, as we said, the user class is being extended by your customer also and is being extended by your restaurant owner. Now, here we have declared the get user method into the user class, and get user is the abstract method. But if you are implementing that get user into the customer class, then you can write the customer related information which is being retrieved. But if you are writing that get user method into the restaurant owner class, you might retrieve the restaurant owner related data. So the single function get user is being implemented as per the situation or as per the class requirement. So this is how your polymorphism is being implemented. So similarly, you can implement or have these many classes also. Again, these are few of the classes I have listed down. You can have many more and you can implement all these OOPS concept in such a real life situation. Thank you, students. Stay tuned for my next video.